Most e-commerce brands think better email marketing means more automations and prettier designs. After working with hundreds of e-commerce brands and generating over 50 million in email revenue, I can tell you that is completely backwards. The brands that are crushing it in 2025 will keep winning in 2026 aren't winning because they have 20 different flows. They're winning because they set up their Klaviyo accounts the right way from day one. In this video, I'll show you the 3 account setup strategies that turn your email marketing into a revenue generating machine, so that you can get well above industry averages when it comes to your revenue per recipient. Let's get into the video. First thing that everyone mess up when it comes to email marketing is their segmentation. When it comes to segmentation, people actually overcomplicate what is needed. There are really only 3 segments that 95% of businesses are going to need. Number 1 is engaged customers, number 2 is engaged non-customers, and number 3 is everybody. Let me show you how to create these segments and why we create these segments. The first one we're going to create is IB engage 90 days customers. I like to use 90 days because most accounts that have decent deliverability are going to be playing with a 90-day engaged window. But if your deliverability is really bad, for example, you get really bad open rates, very bad click rates, and you can typically find what your deliverability looks like by going into the analytics tab here and clicking deliverability. I don't think this account is going to have any data to report here at the moment because we haven't started sending campaigns, but this tab here will give you an overall view of what your deliverability looks like. If you're in the poor deliverability area, you're going to want to use a tighter engagement window, because what you're trying to do is build up a good reputation so that you gradually improve your deliverability. Right now, we're going to assume this account has a fair deliverability. What we're going to say is what somebody has or has not done, opened email at least once in the last 90 days, or what somebody has or has not done, clicked email at least once in the last 90 days, or what somebody has or has not done, active on site, or what somebody has or has not done, placed order at least once in the last 90 days. Now, we're not saying and, we're saying or, because they can match any of these conditions. Or what somebody has or has not done, subscribe to list at least once in the last 30 days. This allows me to capture people who have subscribed to list. Like if they subscribed 7 days ago, they technically would not have had a chance to open any emails at this point in the last 90 days. So we add this to capture any new subscribers. And then we click and this is our customer segment, what somebody has or has not done, placed order at least once, overall time. One optional condition we can add to is we can say and what somebody has or has not done, bounced email 0 times in the last 30 days. This helps us reduce our bounce rates if bounces are a serious problem for us. This is the segment that we're going to use. And it's basically people who are engaged, who are customers, because they are engaged if they match any of these conditions, and they're a customer if they match the condition of placed order at least once overall time, and they're not bouncing, which is maintaining our deliverability because of this. As you can see, this is a new account, so it's literally only 42 people. Then what we're going to do is we're going to go list in segments. We're going to go ahead and clone this segment. We're going to call it engaged 90 days. We're going to call it non-customers. It's going to be exactly the same except for the placed order condition. Remove the and placed order at least once in the last 90 days, and we're going to say placed order 0 times overall time. I'm going to show you why we do this. We have our engaged 90-day customers and our engaged 90-day non-customers. This is really the only 2 segments we need to use. When we send a campaign, we're going to send 2 versions of that one campaign. We're going to send a version to the customers, and we're going to send a version to the non-customers. 2 versions of campaign. The only difference between these 2 campaigns is the campaign that we send to the non-customers, you include the welcome series offer, because we know they've never used it, meaning we know that they still have an offer. By reiterating the welcome series offer and creating a discount code, you are more likely to convert people who have never ordered before, turning them into the customer segment. And I'm willing to bet that you will find 80% of your revenue from a campaign perspective will come from this segment, the customer segment. So you need to do as much as you can to turn people from the non-customer segment into the customer segment. That is step number 1, not super overcomplicated segmentation. And then you can create a third segment, which is essentially anybody who's subscribed for email marketing. IB subscribed for email. If somebody can receive email marketing because they're subscribed. This is going to be your segment of people who you send sale and product release and product restock emails to. Every other type of email you send to these segments here. The only types of emails that can predictably generate revenue are sale, product release, and product restock. And you want to send that to your entire list. Then for your more educational evergreen content that isn't sale focused, you send it to your engaged segments, because we know that that content isn't going to get as much engagement, which means we need to be more focused with who we send it to. But the sale content, the product restock, and the product release content always get better engagement. That's number 1 with your segmentation. That's going to make your campaigns so much more effective because you're increasing the subscription to conversion rate. Number 2 that big brands are doing is they're collecting zero-party data in the sign-up form stage. What does that mean? Boy, oh boy, let me show you. When somebody signs up to our list, we should be trying to figure out what that person is interested in and then sending them down different paths in the welcome series based off of what they're interested in. This is an example of a sign-up form for one of our clients. 10% off, they get their offer, and then we ask them, what are you most interested in? Weight loss, body healing, immune support, skin aesthetics. And when they enter, they press this button. What we're we're doing is we're tagging their profile property. I have videos about this on my YouTube channel, how to set this stuff up. So please explore the rest of the channel or join my school community, which is going to be launching soon. Hopefully it's launched by the time you're watching this. But nonetheless, this is what you need to do. Submit hidden fields and then tag their profile property with what they're interested in. And then you can use those tags to send people down different paths in the welcome series to increase the conversion rate of the welcome series. And all of a sudden, you're having automated conversations on a much more personalized level than you would by just sending people down a generic welcome series flow. And the great thing is, you do this right once, it's done forever. Your business just continuously runs at a more efficient, more direct pace because you're directing people and having one-on-one conversations as opposed to everyone gets the same message. So now we're learning, okay, you're interested in body healing, immune support. We also have another question. Are you interested in introducing peptides to your friends? If they are, we know they're a potential influencer, so we can send them down an influencer flow. Sign-up forms are one of the most underutilized, misunderstood parts of the overall welcome series, or rather email marketing strategy. Using zero-party data to capture people's responses and send people down curated paths. And let me show you what it looks like from a welcome series perspective. You can go conditional split. If they're interested in weight loss, interest category equals weight loss, we're sending them down the weight loss email. If it's muscle development, we have an email that talks about muscle development. Now we're having individual conversations in the welcome series based off of what these people have told us they're interested in. It's so interesting, and you can have a much more effective automation outline. Bonus points if you include the discount code on the final step of the form. Don't force somebody off of your website to go into their inbox to give you money. It's the stupidest thing I see people do. Give them the discount code right here. Why are we forcing them into the welcome series? It makes no sense. Maybe there's an argument from a deliverability perspective. It's not there. I've tested it. I've run the numbers. Give people a discount code on the final step of the sign-up form. The final thing is ineffective post-purchase automations. Let me show you what an effective post-purchase automation actually looks like. So a lot of brands, when somebody places an order, they'll send them down a generic, thank you, really appreciate your business, here's some other products a week later, ask for a review a week later. Email is good at two things: getting a subscription into a first-time customer, or a subscriber into a first-time customer, if you follow my strategies, and as a retention tool. But so many people seem to miss out on that retention piece. Let me show you what a flow looks like from a post-purchase perspective that we build, and why our repeat order rates are so much higher than most businesses out there. So fulfilled order, this is a flow that's triggered off of the fulfilled order metric. I like to have it off of the fulfilled order metric because you're more accurately able to time when it's time to cross-sell and upsell people based off of when the order has left the warehouse rather than when somebody has placed an order. Because sometimes the time between the order being placed and the time between the order being fulfilled can vary, and you want to time your emails that try and sell more product relative to when the individual gets it. So you can actually make an argument to have a delivered order flow if you have that metric, by the way. This is the metric and the flow that we have. Fulfilled order, the first email, we give people just basically all their shipping information. We bring this into Klaviyo because it allows us to mark emails as transactional, which get better deliverability, which then improve the overall account. Let me quickly show you what that looks like within Klaviyo. This wouldn't work normally for a browse abandon, but since this flow is triggered off of an action, I can click this button, apply for transactional status, and that allows it to bypass marketing consent and allows it to get into people's inbox. If I go into my inbox, for example, transactional emails are more likely to land in either the primary folder or the updates folder, which are much more likely to get read as opposed to the promotion folder. So get the email marked as transactional right here, and then you have a 7-day delay. And then we start splitting people based off of the item or the collection of item that they ordered. And depending on the nature of the business, since this is a peptide business, it basically means there's going to be more repeat orders within that same category. So we can send people down a flow that encourages the repeat order of items within the weight loss category. And we continuously explain the weight loss category and educate people on the weight loss category. And as they continue to go down through the flow, if they still haven't ordered, we can start cross-selling other things. Like, okay, listen, it's been a month since they've been in the weight loss category. Maybe they no longer need the weight loss. Perhaps they need energy and vitality. So then we cross-sell the energy and vitality section within these emails. This is how you get really unique and interesting with your emails, by sending people down different pathways based off of that purchase history so that the emails make sense to the individual who's purchased. You're not just sending generic emails to everybody. You're sending emails that are likely to engage with the individual based off of their purchasing behavior. We're sending people down 10 different potential pathways based off of their purchase history. That's how you get in depth with your retention strategies to make things worthwhile. And then obviously at the very end of the flow, we also try and encourage repeat orders. If they haven't placed an order after having gone through this automation and after the time in which we expect them to place a second order has passed, we can start looking at layering in incentives if we want to encourage a second purchase, which conditional order, placed order equals 1 overall time. If it's yes, they get an email that gives them an incentive. If it's no, meaning they're more than one order, they're like a repeat customer, we just kick them out of the flow. But as you can see here, we just go ahead and give them a discount code to get that second order across the line, because even with the discount code, it is more affordable to get that second purchase than it is a first purchase, because we're not spending as much money on on ads to convert that individual. Businesses that are really lasered in with their email marketing, as top of funnel gets more expensive, a lot of businesses are turning to the middle and the retention piece. If you do it right, you can generate and uncover some real hidden gems that generate a lot of revenue. Even if you implement these 3 setup strategies and start seeing better metrics, building the complete behavior-based lifecycle system really does require specialized attention. If you want help setting this stuff up, I can help you turn email into one of your most profitable channels. There's a bunch of links down below, resources, ways to get in touch with me, hopefully a school community that I'm launching soon. But until then, thanks for watching. If you found it useful, subscribe, and I'll see you in the next video.